the Oklahoma Newsroom, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we are brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. Go online anytime and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Time for our 5 and 5 segment, Barry, and it's all Thunder this week. Let's get going with this one. Finish this sentence. Mo Cheeks to the Thunder means?
Not much to me. I got to be honest. I have not gotten excited about this assistant coach search that the Thunder's undergoing. And the idea that Mo Cheeks and Russell Westbrook have some sort of special relationship, maybe it's true. Darnell Mayberry referenced the notable game in Memphis a couple of years ago. But I didn't see much to that. I think Russell's sort of his own man no matter who's over there on the bench. I think Mo Cheeks is a quality person. I don't think he can hurt. I think it'd be good to have him back in town, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, you know, I do think that he had a good relationship with Russell Westbrook, and I think it means as much as anything that Billy Donovan's trying to fill his staff with assistant coaches that have been around the NBA, who know their way around the league, and maybe even to some extent this team. It sounds like two guys who were on the staff previously are being retained, and then you're adding some guys from outside, but Mo Cheeks would sort of be the best of both worlds, an outside guy who's also been here. So I think that means that Billy Donovan and the Thunder are taking a serious look at surrounding Billy Donovan as a rookie NBA coach with some coaches that that he trusts, but in addition to that, some guys that have experience that he doesn't. So I think that's a good thing. You're right. I mean, Russell Westbrook flourished under Robert Pack, the guy who replaced Mo Cheeks. So I think that Mo Cheeks and Russell Westbrook had a good relationship, but I don't know if that's the be-all, end-all of everything. All right, Barry, what about this one? If point guard Cameron Payne is off the board, who does the Thunder draft? Barry, this Cameron Payne guy, we're hearing he was promised by the Thunder. We're taking you, but now it sounds like his draft stock is on the rise.
Yeah, and I don't know. You know, it's hard to make promises when you're as high as 14. When the Thunder was there in the 20s, made the promise to Reggie Jackson, I mean, you can do some of that. But when you're at 14, all kinds of things can happen. So I would be surprised if the Thunder made an all-out promise to a Cameron Payne. Doesn't mean they don't want him. Doesn't mean they won't take him. But if they do not, I still think point guard is the most likely selection made for the future. I like Tyus Jones from Duke. His stock has slipped some. It appears like he might not be in the 14 range, but I like his game. I think the Thunder needs to look for a potential backup point guard the following year. I don't see the Thunder drafting much of anybody that cracks the rotation this coming season, so I think you look for somebody who might be able to crack the rotation the season after. I don't know if DJ Augustine will still be with the Thunder in 2016-17.
Yeah, I'm not as sold on the point guard position being the spot the Thunder should draft. There's several shooting guards that are two-way guys that I think that will be there at 14, and really having a good two-way two-guard, a shooting guard, would be really beneficial to the Thunder. I guess Dion Waiters is as close as they come, but, you know, do you start Andre Robertson, a defensive guy? Do you start Anthony Morrow, an offensive guy? If they could find a shooting guard who could do a little bit of both, I think that'd be great. I don't know if that's, R.J. Hunter, the guy from Georgia State who became sort of an NCAA tournament sensation. There's some other guys out there that may fit that bill a little bit better, but if I had to pick, I think I would go looking for that two-guard that could play both ends of the floor. And like you say, you don't have to have them right away, but down the road, if you could develop them, that'd be super handy. All right, Barry, what about this? Is there a more marketable NBA duo than Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook? We got Russ on the cover of NBA Live 16. KD was already on the cover of NBA 2K15. Russ with the glasses deal in the NBA. My gosh, anybody else out there top these guys?
Well, the answer is no, and frankly, you can sub out the word marketable for the word better. Is there a better NBA duo? No, these guys are marketable. I hate to break it to you guys, but not because you're all that fashionable. It's because you're great ball players. So to me, it's fun to talk about the marketing, the commercialism, the fashion, all that stuff. But the truth of the matter is, the Thunder has 2 of the 5 or 6 top superstars in the league. So that's why I like to sort of shift this thinking from the Madison Avenue, the New York City marketing to it's time for the Thunder to win. When you got 2 players like this, you need to take advantage of it. So These guys are completely marketable because they are such fantastic players.
I would say on the marketing side of things, though, if we're going to focus on that, and I will for a second, I would say when you talk about marketable, a duo that might rise just above these two is Blake Griffin and Chris Paul. We see Chris Paul on the State Farm commercials, great bits there with his son and his twin, and then obviously the Blake Griffin commercials that are just off the charts funny. So those two guys, again, super talented. And you know what? I would echo what you said about KD and Russ being great and now it's time to win. Hey, the Clippers got to do the same thing. Those two guys are super talented, and they don't have a championship to show for it either. Lots of talent in those two duos.
I actually think Durant and Westbrook are better ball players, a better combo than Paul and Griffin. What's different, I think, is the advertising agency for those two guys in L.A. much better than whatever's going on with Durant and Westbrook.
But let's remember, neither duo is lacking marketing money coming into their coffers.
No, it's not a money question.
No, lots of marketing dollars coming in, Barry. All right, let's have some fun with this one. Speaking of Russell Westbrook, what trend could we launch into a profitable business? Russ wore those ridiculous red lensless glasses. It's now been 3 years ago, Barry. But he and the NBA are now partnering together to launch a new series of glasses. No Thunder glasses released to start out with, by the way. What the world is going on there? But, I mean, come on. If lensless glasses can take off, what can we come up with?
Well, I actually do have a business proposition. I've got a business idea. I'm not going to get into it.
You buried the lead? You've got a business proposition for us?
I think people, somebody needs to open a time store. Remember the old-fashioned dime store? It's time to open a time store.
Do tell.
Most of us have more money than we've got time. We don't have time to do the things we want to do. We don't have time to do the things we need to do. Open a time store. You come in. You buy time from me. I'll do the things you need to have done. You need, A, B, C done in the next week. We'll do them for you. $50 an hour, $100, but whatever the set price is.
I think that's called personal assistant.
Personal assistant. Well, or it's we've seen it a little bit with this personal shopper. You've seen, but it goes much beyond that. I mean, I don't need to buy stuff. I just need stuff done. So personal assistant's good. But
what would be on the top of your list if we could open the time store? What would you have done?
What would I have done?
Yeah.
I would have somebody transcribe all my tape for me. How's that sound?
They're called transcriptionists, by the way.
Yeah, but I might need them to do some other stuff,
okay.
and then
like mow the lawn or
all kinds of things.
Okay. Well, that's actually pretty good, and I do need my lawn mowed. So if we open the time store, that's top of my list.
Well, I mean, since you told me about transcriptionists, there are people with landscape companies. There's even like teenagers with lawnmowers. You don't even have to
come by the house. All right.
They don't even have to be registered with the Better Business Bureau.
All right. Lastly, Barry, answer this question: will Kendrick Perkins make an appearance in the NBA Finals? We said this was going to be all Thunder, but hey, NBA Finals are going on. You got to talk about that too.
What's more Thunder than Kendrick Perkins?
Nothing.
Nothing is more Thunder.
I cry every day over Kendrick Perkins.
We miss Kendrick. Come back, Kendrick. Come back, big boy. And here's what I'm going to say. Yes, Kendrick Perkins will play in the NBA Finals. The Cavaliers are gassed.
They are.
They're ahead 2-1, but they're gassed. And they're only playing 7-man rotation. Mike Miller's filling in a few minutes. Think about it this way. Cleveland has not brought a big man off the bench the entire series.
It's crazy.
They got the two big guys, Tristan Thompson, Timothy Mozgov. They always, off the bench, it's nothing but perimeter players. At some point, they're going to have to bring in a big off the bench. I think Gran Torino will make an appearance.
I think he will too, and I think it's just going to come down to the numbers. I think the Cavs are, we saw in Game 3, we saw Kid and Play get hurt. I mean, it's one guy after another here. Amon Shumpert hurts his shoulder. He comes back in, but they just seem to be a little snake bit on the injury thing, or a lot snake bit on the injury thing. I got to think there's going to come a time when Mozgov or Thompson, hurts that ankle or dislodges a finger. Something's going to happen. And Kendrick Perkins gets in. I think it'd be awesome to see him because I think he's going to be an NBA champ, Barry.
Good for him.
All right. Hey, be sure to
He already is, by the way.
I know. Again, Kendrick, again. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.